Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody
Good to
doing?
see you this morning. Jerry and I are here.
We're here.
And if anybody wants to come on the show, let us know. And
You want to come on? Come on.
yeah, if you want to come on, I'm gonna put actually, I think I still got it. No.
I'm sure Lynn will come up. He's always willing to gab. I'll go through the list.
Go ahead and tell us who's here, and I'll get the link up.
So far, good morning, Dave BNSF, Jason Volk, Joe Rader, Lynn McCurdy, Messy Monitor, Ray Bertelstein, Rob T-Man, Steve Waybills, Mark Pruitt over there at CB&Q. Grandpa Rails was here earlier. He had to go to his grandson's football game. Michael McCarville, Gerald Stewart. We were just talking about you, Gerald. About the train you were interested in. Paul, you know your last name. And I think that is it for now. We'll see who rolls in. Good morning, everybody.
Good to see you guys this morning. Steve's still in a lot of pain with his shoulder.
Yeah, he was here, but he doesn't.
The medical part of it's been kind of screwed around because they found out it was workman's comp, and now he's got to wait on them. You know how workman's comp is.
Scott Baker, Steve 87. What's up? We're talking about Claude's locomotives that he's got for sale. Go over to the Facebook page and check him out. He's got some
Gerald,
stuff over there.
That one that you're interested, Gerald, I sent you an email on it, but I looked it up. It's 18 inches, so. But it does have that broken pin on the connector. But I'm pretty sure I bought a replacement piece for that, so it would be an easy fix. You've got the other information there if you're interested. But Dennis isn't here because he cut his internet cable in two, trying to extend it out to the shop.
Yeah, Dennis.
So he's got no internet.
Got
so
none.
That's why he's not here today.
It's cutting too many cables over there. Poor guy.
He needs to stick to chasing the bad guys and leave the house under the house crawling to other people.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to get the professionals to do things.
Yeah. So, that's one thing I was never all that leery about doing, crawling under houses, but out where Dennis is, I'd be very leery of crawling under a house out there where he is.
I think do you guys have rattlesnakes?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we do. They're more prevalent as far as I know down in southern Oklahoma, southwestern Oklahoma, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're around here too.
Yeah.
Now, probably not in town. I don't think I've ever seen any in town or heard of any.
There he is.
They have a rattlesnake roundup in Oklahoma just like they do in Texas. So
there he is.
The idiots go out there and actually catch them.
Mute your YouTube, Lynn.
I kept waiting for somebody and nobody else popped in, so I figured I got to fill out the square.
Mute your YouTube, Lynn. Mute YouTube. Yeah, well, not everybody's up in Canada. You're not there. I'm not there. Claude's not there. Lynn's not there.
I just came back from Canada.
But you didn't go to the meet and greet, though.
Oh, was that this weekend?
Yeah, it's this weekend.
Well, good. I'm hopefully having a good time. I'd love to be able to go to one of those, but this should be far away.
Morning, Montana Northern. Good to see you. Yeah, sooner or later. I guess the best one would have been the one when they went to Denver. That was the closest to you.
Yeah, and I think that was
2 years ago.
Yeah, that wasn't during the narrow gauge convention, though, was it?
I don't remember. Good morning.
Dennis and I were both thinking about going there.
Hey, Jack, I heard you're coming to Timonium. Is this true?
So anyway, yeah. So we're here talking.
Yeah. Bernard, what's up, Bernard? Lynn, what's going on?
Okay, I was trying to be nice. um, those that follow me on Facebook and stuff like that, we do modules. We won't go there. But we have O.J. Simpson's Bronco, the CHP trying to follow it down the road. I've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future, the little steam engine pushing it around. There's videos on that. So the latest movie from way back, I think 68, 69.
Oh, yeah, I heard you talking about that yesterday on Steve's show.
And so we got Dennis Weaver there and his little red.
Where'd you find the car?
eBay.
Oh, okay.
Same with the 55 Peterbilt.
Oh, cool.
You got that?
Anybody that's seen the movie, you never see the driver.
Yeah.
See him waving for Dennis to come around.
Yeah.
And then he tries to run over him with the tanker.
That's a good tanker. Did you find that or make it?
I found it, but it didn't look anything like this. It was chrome, bright yellow. You can see some of the yellow underneath.
Yeah.
It said Shell Oil Company on it.
Okay. So you found that style tanker.
Yeah, it was nice looking. It's a 55 Peterbilt, just like the one in the movie.
Yeah.
And then I started weathering the daylights out of it. I kind of follow along with Colonel Belt and a few others that show weathering and so forth. And I just kept adding to it layer after layer after layer, and then printed out the flammable signs and put those on there. And yeah, it's been about a 2-3 week project.
Well, it looks just like the one in the movie, that's for sure.
Yeah, close enough. Now the thing is, I got to have a train show to put it up on. So
you gonna put it on the layout going down the mountain or something?
I took pictures of it yesterday behind here, pushing the Red Plymouth off the side of the cliff. But the club has a show coming up in October, big one. Little place called Death Valley, but the problem is I'm going to be on a ship out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so I'm going to miss that one.
Going cruising, man.
Yeah, short cruise, 32 days.
Oh, wow.
That's a long one. Where are you going to?
First stop is Hawaii. Then it goes to Tahiti, Boa Boa, French Polynesia, something in the other. Bunch of islands I can't pronounce.
Wow.
Well, Lynn, I think I can speak for everybody here. We don't want to see any pics of you in a Speedo on the beach in Bora Bora.
You won't. Not this pale guy. I mean, 10 minutes in the sun and I'm beet red and then I blister. So
yeah, and you got to be careful down there too, because the sun's a lot stronger around the equator. So you really got to be careful there. I used to tell people that about the Caribbean, and they would say, "No, it's not that. It's not any worse than Florida." I said, "Oh yeah, it is."
Well, we're going to be crossing the international date line, so we're going to be going this way and this way.
Yeah, that'll be a good trip.
It's the first time you're cruising?
No.
Okay. You're a seasoned
I don't know
cruiser.
how many times. Probably getting close to 50. I know well over 30.
Wow. Steve 87 says Burkina makes a set for that tanker.
Hardest part was to get the shine off of it.
Yeah. How did you dip it in anything or what'd you do?
No. Some of the parts I did. All the like the horn, the bumper, and everything like that. In fact, I just put everything away. I did major cleaning on yesterday. I watched Boomer's video last night, and it made me feel bad, so I cleaned the room. Used to be I couldn't even sit here. I had to sit way over there. But
it's a good thing.
he made me feel bad, so I cleaned the room. That was scary.
So
Wife came by, and the other room was stacked with boxes. And, you're not going to a show. What's going on? Oh, I'm cleaning.
he did a service for you.
So
He did you a service. Did you a favor.
Yeah, I could stand to do some cleaning. Half the stuff I've taken off, well, most of everything I've taken off the layout so far is in my shop in boxes, and there's so much stuff in there I can't get the stuff I need to get to. I've got to get out there and put it where it can sit and not be in the way, and still get in there and do stuff. But
yeah,
it's
I really should clean more often. I had a desk over here or a table, and started picking up some papers and
found some
found
things.
One little steam engine, and then I got digging some more, and
Jeez,
there was another one.
got a lot of stuff hiding on there.
Yeah, and then I moved the table, and I found this on the floor. Besides a few more.
Wow.
got stuff you didn't even know you had.
I'd forgotten. I kind of knew,
It was somewhere, but you didn't know where.
You didn't know it until you found it again.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when I do a show or I go to another club layout or something, I box something up, I take it, and I come back, and it's like it goes under a table or it gets stacked over here, and then stuff gets stacked on top of it. So about every 6 months, this wasn't a deep cleaning. This was just a superficial cleaning. Because
hell, I don't have to go to a show or anything.
Messes everywhere.
I don't have to take stuff anywhere to do that. I do that just in everyday use around. In fact, I have to set it over here because I don't need it right now. And then, before long, it's in the back of everything.
Good morning.
If I don't make everybody dizzy. There's still plenty of stuff.
Yeah. Looks familiar.
That's only one side. Then we go over here to the other side.
Yours is more organized than mine, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not showing you the real messes. But then we get over to the nice stuff.
Yeah.
You got too much stuff, man.
This is just this room. There's the garage.
Yeah.
Which is
it's not so much too much stuff.
Right that way.
It's got too much stuff in too small a space. That's the problem.
Well,
to tell yourself.
when I met my wife, this was her house. She bought it, paid for it. And you heard the story about the mountain.
Does she give you a hard time that you're taking over too much space now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a hard time. She's a retired school teacher. So
yeah, she was organized.
She has that look and that voice.
Yeah.
That, the rule of the house is in the garage, there has to be room to park the car and open the doors.
Yeah.
It's come very close a few times where I could barely get in my side as long as she can get in on her side. But,
yeah, you can sacrifice your side as long as she's good.
She doesn't walk around the house with a ruler in her hand.
Yeah. There was
Smack you on the knuckles.
one time it started creeping out into the hall, and she kind of gave me the stink eye and got it back in.
I think she'd be a little more lenient being you're taking her on cruises.
She takes me on cruises.
Oh, she takes you on cruises. That sounds like my wife. She's the one that takes me on cruises.
My ex-wife says I'm the only one that could step in poop and come out smelling like a rose. We didn't have a bad divorce. We won't get into the details of why, but most people know what went on. And I met my current wife, and we hit it off, and we started traveling. The first date, we took off for like 3-4 days. And then she wanted to know if I like cruising. This was almost 25 years ago. And I went on the first one, little 4-day cruise. Oh, this is pretty neat. Food, and you don't have to clean dishes or make your bed. And so then we started going more and more and more. And we got married on a cruise ship. And
That's cool.
that was an adventure. Don't get married on a cruise ship and bring 30 some people with you.
No. Oh, I've got a good story about people that got married in St. Thomas. And then what happened that next night, I don't know what cruise line you go with. We do Royal Caribbean, and they have a show called Love and Marriage Show. And it's a whole story. I'm not going to go into it on the show here, but it was classic. I mean, if you heard it, you would just be have tears running.
That's a good show. We saw one where there was 4 couples. One were newlyweds, and they were sitting at our table at dinner. We always like to share a table. We get to meet people, and I get to talk. And this poor guy, he was the typical Oklahoma country bumpkin. And a cute little wife, she was hot stuff. And he had no idea what was going on. And they got up on stage, they couldn't get anything right. What would you like about your husband to change? Well, he chewed tobacco. She mentioned that. And he's like, I guess because I fart a lot. It was just stuff like that. And then there was another couple that had been married almost 60 years. They almost had to help her get up on stage. And just sweet little couple. And they nailed it. Every question. And adult questions and answers, but they answered it in such a way that it was G-rated. And just had the whole auditorium just going crazy.
It's when the MC asks him a question, and the wife turns bright red because she didn't want to really answer the truth on it or something. That's when it's pretty funny. But yeah, that's a good show on there.
What was the strangest place you've had sex?
Yeah.
And she goes, we had this couple that had a habit of canceling our evening plans at the last minute. And she says, I told my husband, no, we're going to go out tonight with them. We're going to do this and that and everything. And he says, if they don't show up, we're having sex right here in the kitchen on the floor. So they went on to the others, and then they brought him out. And they asked him the same question. And he goes, we had this couple that had a habit of showing up. And that's all he had to say. The place it just went crazy. Here was this little old couple, in their 80s, talking about having sex on the floor without going into details. All they had to say was the people didn't show up. That was it.
Yeah, it's a good show. If you're ever on there, that's the one show I never miss. We like the entertainment on the ships and stuff, but that's the one show I'll always stop what I'm doing and go to because it's always good.
I had one interesting encounter. Wife likes to sleep in. I got up, went up to the Lido, got a little bite to eat, trying to find a table, and there was kind of an interesting looking man, dressed nicely. And I asked if I could sit with him, and he said, certainly. And sat down. He was from the UK and exchanged names. And I said, so what do you do? And he eating his breakfast, and he goes, I'm a professional pickpocket. Okay. I don't got anything on me. He was the entertainer that night. And he was a professional pickpocket. And then he got a job with Interpol and went all around the world catching the high-profile criminals that robbed museums and banks and stuff like this. And he had stories galore. The crazy thing was he was greeting people as they came into the auditorium. How do you do? Shake your hand, And then he goes,
Picking their pockets.
Robert, Mr. Bill Robert in room 103. I have your room card. You know, the guy, oh, okay. And then he goes, James, was it James Black? Would you like your wristwatch back? He had his wristwatch, the best one. At the end, he went through a whole bunch of people and he pulls out, Tom, would you like your t-shirt, your undershirt?
Oh, come on.
No idea how he did that. And this guy stood up and he's like, yeah. He took some guy's shirt off of him.
I can't believe
that.
I mean, I've seen them do that on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they've got somebody sitting up on stage and they go back there and they work it a few times while they're talking to them and distracting them, and then all of a sudden they yank it off of them. And they won't even, and I don't know how they do that, but
you put their arm around them, you touch, he
explained a lot of it. They do that.
Well, it's all distraction. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, it's like when we went to Italy and we were going down to see the Trevi Fountain, and it's a very crowded space. And our guide said, this is one place, make sure you've got your hand on your billfold in your pocket and don't let go of it while we're here, because the whole area is full of pickpockets. And because it's so crowded, you can't help but bump into people. And that's what they do. So, yeah, you gotta be careful in those kind of situations, especially in tourist areas.
I heard about that. We did a Mediterranean and went to Italy. We didn't get to go to Rome and all like that. We were on the east side, and I carried a throwaway wallet. That there's some cash, there's my ID, and just what you really have to have with you, and that's all I carried. So if they got that, they didn't get credit cards, they didn't get pictures, they didn't get anything else. Just
I had one that fit in my palm. It just had my ID, one credit card, and if I had any cash in it, probably my room card for the ship. But it stayed in a closed fist in my pocket the whole time we were there.
And you don't carry anything in your back pocket, all in your front pocket.
No. Well, I quit carrying my billfold in my back pocket a long time ago.
Yeah,
messing my back up. Yeah, sitting on it messed my back up. Well, anyway. Oh, here you go. Yeah. Steve went on a Christmas cruise and set up a line they'll lay out on one of the display areas. Hey, yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I know some of the cruise ships really deck them out during holidays and stuff. But
have you seen trains on the cruise ship, like during the holidays?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've not been on during the holidays, so I haven't. But
last December, January, we did Panama Canal, and my wife had to restrain me because I wanted to go out there and work on the layout because the train kept derailing, and there's a car over here and the locomotive's over there, and she's going, no, don't mess with it. Let them, don't mess with it. And then the year before, we went to Antarctica on Holland during the holidays, Christmas and New Year's. And they had a table with all kinds of food and everything, and an HO train running around.
Oh, that's
and
neat.
My wife kept going, keep your hands off. No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. I go, I want to see it run. I always take a bunch of magazines with me, old model railroad magazines. And
you leave them?
I leave them in the library. I peel off the label. I have pictures of it. And the National Model Railroad Association, one of theirs, I left that in the library. But, we go to lunch or something like that. And I had this woman come up once, and she said, excuse me. She goes, can my husband look at your magazines? He's going through withdrawals, and he's over there just drooling, but he's too embarrassed to come talk to you. And I said, sure. Went over, gave him cards, stuff, all like that. And he was in a club in New York City, close to where Heath lives. And he was just like, oh. She says he didn't want to come on the cruise because he was going to miss his trains. And she goes, and here you show up with all these magazines. And I've met other clubs and members and stuff on a cruise. Just carry around your magazines with you, lay them on the table, and it's like a magnet. Anybody that does trains, they'll come right to you.
Yeah, I've had people, if I wear one of my T-shirts with my layout stuff on there, they'll ask me about it. And some of them are trained people, some of them aren't, but I get a lot of people ask, what's this all about?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, people on a cruise ship are like that. They're generally pretty friendly and willing to talk to people and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that. So you get a lot of that kind of stuff.
There's not a lot of grumpy people like Steve on there.
No, there's some, you run into all kinds of people, but
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there are a lot of people that are just there to have a good time for a week and or whatever length they're on.
We prefer the smaller ships. Although this one we're going to go on is mid-size. I think it's around 3,000 people.
Mhm.
But we like the other ones where it's under 1,500. We've gone on one riverboat cruise. Didn't really care for it, but that was just things that happened. But you get to know the people. You start clicking with people after a while. I mean, you can't do that on a 4 day or 7 day, but you start getting into 14 or 20, something like that day. We did a 3 week Alaska that was on a small ship. Went into all kinds of places where ships don't go. You got to meet all kinds of interesting people.
Yeah,
yes,
it's a good value for your vacation dollar for sure.
Yep.
especially if you're on there for a long time.
Well, even, the longest we've been on was the last one we were on. We were on 15 days, 8 days, and then 7 days. But a lot of the people on that ship, there's probably a fourth of the people on that ship did both cruises. So they were on there for 15 days and we got to know, several. In fact, we met some people that live about 3 miles from here on, on the, on that ship. And here we are in the North Sea, going up to Norway and found out they live right, basically around the corner from us.
Yeah.
So it's like I say, it's a neat vacation.
Anything? You haven't done anything with your layout this week, right?
No, no. Well, yeah, I went in and did do some cleanup in the shop, but I haven't done anything really with the layout. I still got to get somebody over here to help me with it. Uh, take that top piece down because it's going to take a couple hours at least to do it, and I need more than my hands.
Have
And I'm
Have
not
you
about to
dealt with
ask
your
my wife.
tortoises yet? Your tortoises?
What about them?
Have you dealt with them yet? Taken them off or
I've
anything?
taken how many I've got off there? 8 or 10 maybe.
Okay. Dennis wants some, right?
Yeah, I know Dennis wants some. Somebody else wanted some, I think.
Yeah, there's a couple people that said something about it.
Yeah, because I don't think I'm going to use tortoises on anything I build after. I think it's all going to be manual switches. I try
Anybody
to keep it
watching
as
chat?
I'm
Yeah,
trying to. I'm
yeah.
trying. I don't know what they're talking about, but
I was just reading Bernard's comment.
Which one? He said a few.
Said I had to change my shirt.
says I'm a professional pornographer. Oh, I can't spell. I love it.
Jerry, so what's going on with your layout?
Uh,
I try to watch you, but you're on so much I can't see anything else.
I'll just watch my updates then. Don't watch the live stuff. Um, I just finished up spraying my track. Just weathering it, and then just going to weather some more. That's what I'm working on now. Weathering my track.
how are you doing that? Are you using the airbrush or?
Yeah, airbrushing it. Yeah, I don't like the rattle cans. I don't want that smell in my house. But airbrush, it's so. I mean, I don't. It's so simple. It's so easy to airbrush track.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, other than the investment, if you don't have an airbrush, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. The only way it's easier is if you use rattle can
yeah, that
to
it's
do it.
way easier that way.
Yeah.
But then you got the stink. I mean,
Oh, it's not too bad.
it's bad for me. I can't.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Some people are more sensitive
Yeah,
to that kind of stuff. But
for
I don't
me.
have any smell after being a plumber for so long.
Yeah, man. I mean, geez, yeah,
PVC glue kind of burn out my olfactories.
yeah. Oh yeah, PVC. Like I pick up smells pretty easy, so
Yeah,
um,
I
it would
don't.
give me a headache. I would, I couldn't stand it. So yeah, airbrush. That's
Well,
where I'm
yeah,
at
that
right
that would
now.
be a good way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you do it airbrush. Are you doing more than one color?
yeah, yeah. One main color, and then I'm just, doing a couple
Highlighting with.
colors, highlighting ties, and yeah. So there'd be a couple different colors, maybe 4 or 5 different colors, and then
Yeah, see,
I'll,
I think that's a lot more important as far as track detail when you've got a smaller
yeah,
layout
yeah,
because there's not as much to look at
yeah,
as you would
for
get on a
sure.
bigger layout. So
Yeah,
if you've got that fine detail, it really stands out.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's
and
my
that's kind of
thought.
what Dennis did with his time saver. When he first did that, he did that as a
Right.
S piece for the larger layout. But man,
Yeah.
that sucker in person is 10 times better looking than it is on camera.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's he did a really really good job with that.
Yeah. I mean, if you got a
Don't
big
tell him I
layout,
said that though.
if you got a big layout like Dennis, I mean, I'm sure Dennis is going to detail ties and stuff, but
Yeah.
you don't need to detail every one of them. You just skip around, and that's something that you can just keep doing, right? Like
Sure,
it's
yeah.
so, it's so easy, and it's so like the overspray is like zero, just a bit. It's zero. Overspray is zero. It's like you can continuously do it. It's not something that you need to get done. You could even do it once you ballast, and
Oh
still
yeah.
come back in detail.
Well, well, yeah, because if you want to put, say, like you've got a gray ballast,
Right.
you want to put oil on it, or you know
Yeah.
any oil stains, anything like that, which you would find even on mainline, you'll find some
Yeah.
oil stain and stuff
Yeah.
down the middle. It's real easy
Airbrush
to
is
do that kind of
perfect,
stuff.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and I did a video yesterday, and I talk about, like laying down amounts of paint. Like you really, other than dry brushing, you can't really control the paint that you apply like with a brush as you can easily with an airbrush. You know?
Yeah, with a little bit of practice,
Yeah.
airbrushing is definitely much better than just even with a manual paintbrush.
Yeah.
It just takes some practice.
Yeah. Just a little bit of practice. You don't need to.
What's I think what's really nice about an airbrush is you can adjust the amount that's coming in,
Yeah.
which you can't do with a rattle can.
No. Yeah. It's either all or none, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excuse me. But yeah, the airbrush. I used to use airbrush on airplanes all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, the last plane I did, the company that was making the camouflage, the German camouflage that they had in World War I, they call it lozenge camouflage. It doesn't look like it would be camouflage until you get it in the air and then it just disappears. Um, but they quit making it in the material that I was buying, and so I had to use the regular covering and paint it on. So I made a bunch of masks and used an airbrush to paint each one. And the good thing with that was you could kind of feather the edges of each of the. It's kind of hard to explain if you don't know what it is, but they're a bunch of polygons, and they're all different colors. There's like five, 4 or 5 different colors, and they're just arranged in different patterns. And so I made masks of those and just overlaid each color. It came out really well. But an airbrush works perfect for that. I couldn't have done it any other way. If I'd have tried to
Right.
brush that by hand, never. I used to do all the insignia by hand, but that's all straight lines, so I could do that. But to try and do those polygons, even though there's each edge is straight, you're next to each other on them, and there was no way it was going to come
Yeah.
out right. But
Bernard's
anyway, yeah,
a plane, but it's full scale.
Yeah. I saw
Bernard,
that,
you're
yeah.
pretty busy for an old guy.
Yeah, I saw you guys. I saw the pictures of you washing the airplane, Bernard. I can't believe it's been, how long did you say it was? 20 years since it's been washed? No wonder the thing was still flying.
He had that on Facebook?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was on Facebook. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that airbrush is really good, and like I say, it's not as difficult to use as it
No, it's
looks
not.
like it would be. It's
I think the biggest key is uh, good paint. Don't like try to put craft paint through it because it's not
well,
that nice.
you
Thinned
can.
out, but I mean
I did craft paint.
thinned
I
out.
did
So,
I did regular latex through it.
but that's a learning curve, right?
Yeah.
Learning curve.
You
Like,
have to have the right tips for
yeah,
latex because it's so thick, but you also have to thin it quite a bit.
yeah,
And then I always use some Floetrol in it.
right. That's
The
a huge
Floetrol got
curve.
it to
Yeah,
spread better instead of beating up because
yeah.
latex wants to beat up after an airbrush. So thinned it down and then put Floetrol in it also, and it got a nice smooth,
But there's
like
paints
enamel.
out there that are pretty simple to use right out of the bottle,
Oh
or
yeah,
with a tiny bit of thinning. Like
hey,
Tamiya is like one of the ones that are super simple to use.
yeah. AK
Yeah,
airbrush paints, and there's
yeah,
I know there's two or three
right out
more
of the
that are
bottle,
like that.
and you get
Yeah.
good results with them. And then once you start getting better with it, then you can start you know
Hmm.
using other ones and thin them and figure that out. But
Well,
it
the
can
reason,
be a frustrating thing to learn.
yeah,
But
the reason I use latex is because I was taking um, pieces of the covering that I was using that weren't getting painted, and I would take it and put it on a piece of balsa wood or something, and take it into Home Depot and have put it up on the computer and match it to
match
that
color.
color. And so I was doing a lot of that. I probably have 40 of those little test jars of paint because that's all I needed.
Right,
And I've got so many different colors out there. But with all those, especially on the German side, World War II or World War One planes, you've heard of the flying circus and stuff. Well, they were all different colors, and
right.
all the pilots painted it whatever color they wanted. And so you had to have all these different colors because if you're doing an airplane, uh, even two airplanes that are the same kind in the same squadron or something, they're going to be different colors. And you've got
Totally,
all these.
like one would
You
be
may have three or
yellow,
four
one
colors
would
on
be
one airplane.
red, type of a thing.
Say again.
One would be red, one would be yellow, or just variations of a green or
Well, some of the squadrons would have uh, a base scheme,
right,
but then the pilots would put something on the side of the airplane or on the top wing of the airplane. They put something, personalized.
right,
That was a big draw to me for doing those airplanes because they weren't all the same.
right.
Um, the British were more about they all looked like basically the same. They did have some color differences, but very few. But the Germans had tons of different colors of airplanes. It's very interesting actually to get it if you like history and stuff. It's very good.
Wow, I didn't know
But
that.
I had to have all that different paint, so I was buying all these little ones, and I still got most of them
Yeah,
out there. I don't know if they're any good, but
yeah,
I used a lot of that in airbrush, and also would just hand paint it. But
yeah.
you can do the same thing with trains. I mean, you can do latex on there. You just have to learn what goes through and what works well for whatever you're doing.
Yeah, there's a little learning curve. Don't make it hard on yourself, though.
Yeah. But mainly for trains, I would stay with AKs or
Yeah,
Vallejo, somebody like that.
yes,
They're made for those, and they're going to
yeah,
have the right colors, and you won't have to mix them and stuff like that. Because once you start mixing colors, especially if you do it on your own bench top,
yeah,
now you got to try and replicate that down the line somewhere.
yeah. It's okay
Like
if
we were talking earlier, you're not going to be able to do that.
yeah,
It's
it's
not going to
okay
happen.
if you're mixing for one thing, and you get the color right. But then if you want to replicate it by doing more, And it's like you need some type of a formula. You need to measure so that you get the right amounts and your colors come out close to the same. But I don't think even the railroad got it right. They were always, there might be a little shade difference in some things a couple years later. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard Rio Grande, depending on the shop, each shop had a different shade of orange yellow that they used.
right,
You could tell by the locomotive which shop it came out of.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
There was a lot of a lot of different ones. Not a lot of different ones, but different ones. Rio Grande was like that.
Like
Get
Rio
that.
Grande, also, like I noticed, and I'm not a big Rio Grande person, but I noticed like in the locomotives that you're selling, Claude, they had like the black and the orange and the black and the yellow. So there was no like we're black and orange and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most
There
of the
was
black and
no
orange
variation.
was freight stuff or switchers that I've seen.
Uh,
The black and yellow was the aspen. It was that, well, they call it aspen yellow is what they called it, and that was all the passenger stuff
oh, so
with
those
that color.
locomotives. Oh, so that's how they designate it. Kind of like I
I'm
think.
well there again. I think it's like Lynn said. I think it
Yeah.
depended on what shop they actually came out of as to what
Yeah.
color it was. But
Right.
all the orange stuff I've seen has all been on freight locos,
Right.
and the passenger stuff was all aspen color. I think they were more adamant about the passenger trains back in the day because
Yeah. I
that
think
was
it's
the railroads. That was their herald was the passenger
right.
train service that they
Right.
had.
I think the Pennsylvania Railroad did the same. Like passenger trains were one color, freight locomotives were another color, other than steam. I mean, diesel
Yeah,
wise.
because didn't Pennsylvania have they had a green and a maroon,
Yeah. Like the
two
maroon,
different.
I think was passenger. The Brunswick green was for freight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's they did come out different, and there again, if it was just the
Yeah.
how
It
they
was
came
all
out of
about,
it, it
it was
wasn't that
all
big a
about,
deal, or I don't know
yeah,
if they designated it that way. They might have. I don't know.
probably. I mean, it was about showing, being like, you know, back then, trains were it, right? That's how
Well,
people
you're
got
yeah.
around.
It was your main source
Yeah.
of cross country travel before airplanes were big and more affordable.
Yeah.
But it was
Travel.
also the first thing that the public saw of the railroad was the passenger train.
Right. Yeah. They
So
didn't pay attention to freight.
that's what they wanted you to
Yeah.
see, and that's why they spent so much money on
Yeah.
passenger service.
Yeah. It's like the Blue
Uh,
Comet. Like the
yeah.
Blue Comet, right? That was like, man, that was like gorgeous, right? It was like view, everything
Well,
was
any of them, you had the
yeah. And
California Zephyr,
yeah, the
you
Zephyr, the
had Santa
daylight,
Fe's. All
yeah.
those were fancy,
They were
not
all
fancy,
like
but they were very nice.
they were ornate and flashy, you
Yeah.
know. What's up, Gus Hadley? How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Dwayne. Everybody else that popped in, Dwight Curley, Digger Evans. Good to see everybody. Digger's building a new layout.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He's got bench work down. He's laying track. Yeah,
Right.
he's
Well,
building
you're
that.
gonna have to come on the show again, Digger.
Yeah,
Show
come
us
on.
what you're doing.
Show us what you're doing out there. His building's like 30 by 12.
30 by 12.
Yeah, it's
Be a
big.
pretty good sized layout if you're
He had somebody
filling it
build
up with train.
somebody built the bench work for him, and now he's laying track
Well, there you go.
in a matter of a month, 2 months.
Yeah. Wayne said, yeah, it was
Yeah,
Tuscan red for passenger, green for freight. Yeah.
yep, yeah,
Well, and and Santa Fe did the blue for freight
Yes.
right.
and the red war bonnet on the silver for the passenger service.
Oh,
And
is that
black
what
for the
that
yellow.
red and silver was for
Yeah,
passenger?
the war bonnet was their passenger trains. Yeah, the Super Chief
Oh,
and all those. Yeah. Yeah, that's my most vivid memory of seeing trains when I was a kid was seeing those Santa Fe passenger trains come into
yeah.
Victorville Station after coming up out of L.A. through Cajon Pass on their way to Barstow. And and points beyond.
What is that, Lynn?
Lynn's got one here. What is that? Oh yeah, there you go. That's the war bonnet scheme right there.
Right. What's the rest of that thing?
The peanut butter challenge from mini
Oh.
prints. You had to put something inside of a peanut butter lid.
So you cut a
He didn't say which
locomotive.
direction it had to go.
So you cut a locomotive shell,
Yeah.
There you go.
mounted it. That's pretty cool looking. It looks like, you know what it almost looks like? It looks like a jet boat.
Yeah.
And
Or it's
what's
coming
in
out
the
of a
lid?
tunnel almost.
Yeah, a tunnel. What's in the lid? What did you put in the lid?
Just plants and flowers, plastic stuff.
Okay. So you
You
didn't
can't
put
see it,
right.
but inside the locomotive, there's two figures,
Are they mini print
Sparky
figures?
and Heath.
Oh, okay.
Mini prints.
Oh, that's funny.
They're in
Yeah. I
there.
see something in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's funny. So there are mini prints in there. Yeah, it could be.
Well, that's part of the peanut butter challenge. You have to, you don't have to, but you're supposed to have a mini print. It has to fit inside a peanut butter lid jar.
Right.
And
That was a pretty clever thing you did there.
try to think of something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
So
Well,
you're
we got
supposed
about
to paint and weather your track. I should do that one of these days. I need to replace the turnout. It shorted out like a year ago, and I haven't even got around to doing that. Someday.
Yeah, you will eventually. But you don't
Yeah.
really run your layout, do you?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Not that much, occasionally. When I built this, my wife, she says, I want to be able to get back here in the corner. So there's a really tight curve back there, right behind over my shoulder. So only certain locomotives can run through there, nothing 6-axle. And just have too much trouble with it. So I run trains, This one runs. All I got to do is turn the power on. But
Yeah.
usually on Friday morning with Steve Childer, I'll have something running. I haven't the last couple of weeks. Just haven't felt like it. With the temperature and everything going on around here, been kind of, and my health problems. I've just been lazy.
That's okay.
So I'm working on my tanker truck. I do something. It's not like I don't do anything.
Yeah, it's little projects to keep you busy, and that's fine.
I put it away. I've got that great big train station to build, which probably be 5 years from now.
At least you're planning out 5 years from now.
Yeah. Then I start thinking, how old am I? And 5 years from now, hope I'm still around. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody knows, but yeah.
Nope.
Well, yeah, I had my dentist was telling me, he said, yeah, we could do this and this and this. And he said, and I said, oh, well, he was talking about, so it'll be good for 30 years or so. And I
Yeah.
looked at him and I said, I better not be here in 30 years.
Yeah.
I better not need it for that long.
Yeah.
Too old
30
now
years.
to be having something for 30 years. But yeah, I know what you're saying. You're going to have something planned out there that you're going to do.
If I'm around in 30 years, I might get my name in the paper for living that long. Yeah.
Oldest man
Exactly.
alive in Death
I'd only be
Valley.
107.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't be that old, but that'd still be older than I want to be.
I
Michael
saw the other
McCarthy.
day where some lady hit 116. So,
Really? Wow.
it's possible.
Michael McCarville wants us to talk about cruise ships again. Hey, Michael McCarville, that new building that you were showing in your latest video, that thing's pretty awesome looking. I don't know, it's some type of mill. I don't know. I guess Dennis is now wants to buy it. He was kind of talking about it, I guess.
You asking Mike something?
Yeah.
My comments usually come out slow because, I misspelled that and I misspelled that word. And
Well, I was looking, Mike was wanting to get back to cruise ships instead of trains. I'll show you a cruise ship that was on a train layout.
Bantam Model Works.
If I can find the picture.
Are you making videos of that build, Michael McCarville? Dwayne, you got hurt at work Wednesday? Well, I hope you're feeling better. I'm sure
This is why you shouldn't work. You get hurt too much.
Yeah, but you can get hurt anywhere.
Yeah. Work's a 4-letter word.
You get hurt working on your layout. Get a splinter or something.
Where I worked, I literally saw 3 guys have heart attack and 2 guys drop dead.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that build for that that mill, the ore mill.
Yeah.
That looks like a pretty cool kit.
I guess I won't show you the picture. I can't find it right now.
Uh-oh.
Of the kit?
No, of the cruise ship on the train layout.
Oh.
And what's neat about it is it actually floats in the water. It's one of them at the Miniature Wonderland, and they can actually take the cruise ship and move it about 20 feet in the layout.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. That thing is really cool, and well, I could do a whole show probably on that because I've got so many pictures of it. But yeah, unless you're there, you can't really. The pictures don't do it justice. But the biggest thing with that was how many individual figures.
Do they still have the cruise ship going with this system, with this on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't moving when we were there, but they can have it move. They had a freight ship going. They had a dinosaur that would pop out of it. But they would have a lot of stuff like Lynn was talking about with the different cars and the different movie scenes and stuff. They had a Millennium Falcon on the airport tarmac and had a UFO come down and pick a cow up. I think I talked about that before. But yeah, and of course trains are running everywhere on this thing. It's mainly started as a train layout, but they've just done all these different scenes and stuff from all over the world. And the place is huge. In fact, brochures here. See how many people were. I think I said this before.
Oh, you're talking about Winter Wonderland or
No, Miniature Wonderland.
Miniature Wonderland.
Where's that? Almost 300,000 individual figures, people figures.
That's the one in Germany.
It's in Hamburg, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought you said there was a cruise ship that had a train layout on it.
Oh, no. It's a train layout. It's got a cruise ship on it that actually.
Okay. I got you now. Michael McCarville, it should be a good video. You just watch a little bit, fall asleep, and then go back and pick it up where you left off. You'll get a lot of views that way.
Yeah. Said he saw video
checking out where Sparky's having his meet and greet.
Yeah.
And there's a place there in, what is it, Toronto?
Canada or something. Canada, miniature.
Yeah, and I saw this, it said Little Canada.
Little Canada, yeah.
I looked it up, and it is a miniature, not just trains, but a bunch of things in trains right there in town. I don't know if that's on his list of places to go and stop, but that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, there's that. And in fact, when I'd come back to vacation, was showing some of the pictures of Miniature Wonderland, somebody had mentioned that Canadian layout. And of course, then there's the one in is it New Jersey?
Yeah, Northlands.
Northlands, yeah.
There was one in New York, but I guess it closed. It didn't do well.
Take Northlands and multiply it by, I don't know. I've not been to Northlands, so I don't know exactly how big it is.
10 times. Yeah, it's
probably.
huge.
Yeah,
Northlands is big, but that place is huger, bigger.
Yeah. because they've got a big spot on the layout that's kind of like Northlands. It's not as large as Northlands as far as multiple stories,
Yeah.
but the rest of it goes through, many rooms in these two buildings.
Right.
And it's crazy, all the stuff they got. And we were, like I say, we were there 3 hours and you could spend 3 days at least, in a place like that.
Yeah.
We discovered a place in Victoria, Canada, on the West Coast. And I forget what it's called, kind of a play on words, little something in the other. And originally it was a theater, walk-in theater. And you went into different rooms or sections. And one was all trains, different sizes, mostly like modules or just dioramas. There was a big G scale set that was a whole logging. Train came in, there was logs, they cut the logs, the lumber came out. They didn't really cut the logs, but it simulated it. Another room was nothing but castles. Another room was airplanes. And it just went on and on and on like a maze all the way through this place. And then no advertisement or anything for it. We were just looking for something to do before we get back on the ship. And hey, here's this place. That was pretty cool. Well, there's stuff out there. You just need to know about it.
I'll be up there next August, a year from now. We'll be up there. I may have to look that up.
You're going to cruise up there?
Yeah, we're going on another Alaska cruise with my daughter and son-in-law.
Oh, that's cool.
And this particular one will stop in Victoria because we're going out of Seattle, so they stop in Victoria on the way back.
Oh, wow. Will you go in the summertime?
Yeah, it'll be August.
Okay.
First part of August, I think.
Yeah. That's neat.
But yeah, Alaska, if you ever didn't know, if you could only go on one cruise and didn't know which one to go on, go to
Alaska. Yeah, like one of the guys, Ben Eagle Creek, he went up to Alaska and did a train trip. I think he went
they used to, well, they still do.
miles on the train.
Yeah, they've got one where it goes, you go up from, say, either Vancouver or Seattle, and you go one way up to Seward,
Right.
Alaska, and then you get on the train, and the cruise companies have their own trains. And so they'll take you up, and in fact, I don't remember which cruise line it is, has a lodge up in Denali. And you go and you stay at the lodge for a while, and then you come back on the train to Anchorage.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, they used to have one that went from Calgary. You rode the train through the Canadian Rockies, which is the one I wanted to do.
Right.
Calgary to Vancouver, and then you got on the ship and did the cruise.
Yeah.
But
we just canceled our Alaskan cruise for next year. And it was fly to Victoria and then Celebrity up to Anchorage. And then at Anchorage, get on the train to Denali and back.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you cancel?
My wife's trouble with walking steps more than walking. We didn't know about her getting on and off the train. She says, I can do it. Yeah, you have trouble getting in the car.
Yeah, but some places have like lifts that they'll lift you up.
Yeah.
So,
but each night you had to get off the train to go into a hotel, which was nice, but that means getting off, getting on, getting off, getting on.
Yeah.
And then the clinker was we had to book a flight from LA to Victoria and then book a flight from Anchorage back to LA, which would stop in San Francisco. And the flight was almost as much as the cruise.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
That's a lot. So we sat down one day and I said, maybe we should cancel this and we could do something else with the money.
Yeah.
She reaches over and pulls out a whole stack of brochures. How about this one? How about this one? So now we're going on a lake
35 days.
We're gonna sail out of Chicago and end up in Toronto.
So when you go on your trip to the Pacific, where do you leave from?
Los Angeles.
Okay.
We're gonna drive down. It's about an hour and a half.
Oh, that's not bad.
We looked into getting a ride, not a limo, but transportation, and the price was like crazy. And then it's, I think, like $35 a day to park the car. 35 times 32 still came out half or less than the cost of the shuttle.
So, Container Man, you had your chance to come up here and put us back on track.
That's
You
right.
still can. There's room. There's room.
We're out
Yeah,
of time.
except we're out of time now. Yeah.
We're out
You
of time.
lucked out.
Rob says try the 3-hour cruise.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Go over with Gilligan and all them. Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for being here. We did get off track a little bit today, but
We
Just
apologize.
had a
a
good
little.
time. Yeah, just a little
It's
bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope everybody have a
Yeah.
good rest of your weekend and a good week. And Lynn, thanks for coming on.
Dennis
You're
won't be
welcome.
here
Thank you.
next week. So remember, Dennis won't be here next week because he's going to DC. And
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
maybe somebody from over there will like to come up and join us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bill might be back. I don't know.
Yeah, Bill might show up, but Steve probably won't. Good night. Good day. Have a good weekend. See you,
All right.
everybody.
We'll
Bye,
see y'all
everybody.
later. Bye.